in Lok Sabha, leading, as you just saw, to the Lok Sabha being adjourned. We'll bring you more context on that in just a second. The opposition, as we speak, has said they're going to be marching to the ED offices at 12:30 today. And very, very interestingly, on this question of can the opposition be united or not, the BRS, the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti from Telangana, saying they will participate in this march, but that they might not walk under the Congress banner. Let's go over to my colleague Pallavi right now. Pallavi, I just want to ask you, did the BRS phrase it as we might not walk or we're absolutely refusing to walk?
Well, I mean, they are at the most saying that they would not want to walk, and that's been a stand of both the BRS and the TMC of not walking under the leadership of the Congress party. Look, because of their political constituency, which is in Telangana, there has always been a difference of opinion between the Congress as well as the BRS, as it's now called. That's one problem. The second problem is, if you look at the KCR, who's the Chief Minister of Telangana, he himself has been making attempts to kind of cobble up an opposition unity, from holding rallies in Maharashtra, Akhilesh Yadav flying down south to meet up with him. It's very clear that there are multiple opposition fronts which are opening up. I think the fissures within the opposition unity is something which is becoming more and more glaring, and it certainly has been more in this session. Normally, till the last session, we did see TMC taking part in some.
Okay, we'll try to re-establish that connection with my colleague Pallavi. Until we wait for her to join her once again, we're going to keep talking about this entire story. Remember, my colleague Anshul was telling us a little while earlier about the plan for this walk. It is largely expected that the walk will start off at Vijay Chowk. They'll make their way to the ED and the CBI offices. My colleague Arunima with us right now on the same story. Let's go over to her. Arunima, over to you.
So, we were just discussing before we, broke for live coverage of Lok Sabha that the MPs there are not going to get any work done. The MPs are not expecting any work to be done, any business to be done this week at all. The opposition is adamant that it wants discussion on Adani issue. The government is adamant that they will not stop short of anything but Rahul Gandhi's apology. He was expected to be there in Parliament. But when we asked the Congress leaders whether the 12:30 march that is being proposed, whether he's going to lead that, they are non-committal. Now, talking about that march at 12:30, even there, as far as who all will be part of the march, there seems to be some confusion. I spoke to Kalyan Banerjee of the Trinamool Congress. He said we are not decided, we haven't made up our mind yet whether we want to walk under the Congress's banner, because the West Bengal unit of the Congress party, specifically Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, has joined hands with the Bharatiya Janata Party against TMC. And given the fact that he has not been ticked off by the central leadership, we are not comfortable with being under the same banner. The Aam Aadmi Party yesterday also had protested separately. They said the same thing, that our issues are similar, but we may not want to join under the Congress banner. BRS, which has also been protesting along with Aam Aadmi Party, says they might reach the venue but may not protest under the Congress banner as well. So they all want to raise this issue of crony capitalism, of allegations against Adani Industries, demanding a joint parliamentary probe into it. But the government should take heart from the fact that the opposition unity doesn't seem quite 100%.
Okay. Arunima, if we could just stay on this story for the second, what are your predictions for the opposition strategy over the next few days, particularly when you've got this tricky case of some parties aligning and some parties not?
So the opposition, is wanting to make this point that we are all united on the issue of demanding a probe as far as the Adani matter is concerned. Both on the floor of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, the sloganeering is on the same issue, and all opposition MPs are raising the same matter. Whether they come together under the same banner or not is something that they are still deciding on party basis, especially in poll-bound states where Congress is a factor. The regional parties don't want to come together. BRS Telangana, is going to poll soon. Congress is a factor there. Trinamool Congress, I still told you, has issues with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and the state unit of Congress in West Bengal. So wherever Congress is a factor in states, the regional parties don't want to join hands with them. Same for Aam Aadmi Party here in Delhi. They have a grudge against Congress for not criticizing CBI and ED for Manish Sisodia's arrest. And therefore, you might see Congress not being able to provide that umbrella to bring together all opposition parties. But they do want to put up this point inside Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha that we are together on the issue of price rise, on the issue of JPC, on the issue of crony capitalism.
Okay, Arunima, thank you for that context. For our audiences, let's now go over to my colleague Anshul, because Anshul is present right now on the ground. We told you a little while earlier about the opposition march planned in about an hour and a half from now. Opposition parties walking to the ED and the CBI, demanding a JPC probe on the Adani issue, making a number of other demands too. My colleague Anshul has been present on the ground for the last few hours. Anshul, we've been expecting this. There was some questions on what the route would be, some questions on when it would take place. How much of that has been cleared now?
Yes, as it has been spoken on our channel that yes, the march is going to happen at 12:30 p.m. However, how many parties are going to protest in that march, that is something that remains to be seen, because many of the opposition parties have already said that they are ready to protest, but they will not come under the banner of the Congress party. So how many ever parties come out? I'll just try and show you the kind of arrangements that have been made out here by the Delhi police and the local administration. They are just making sure that if at all any of these leaders try to step out from the vicinity of the parliament and try to start their march towards the Enforcement Directorate office, they would be stopped right here, because you see the kind of arrangements that have been made on the ground by the Delhi police. Hundreds of police officials along with rapid action force have also been deployed on the ground at this point in time, and they are and also the buses have also been put in place, so that any sort of situation where the situation might arise that they might want to detain a few of the leaders, then all these buses have been already been put in place just to make sure that no sort of untoward incident happens over here. Also, posters have been put out over here by the Delhi police that mention that Section 144 has been imposed in this area, which means that people are not allowed to come out and protest, and hence this is a kind of preparation that the Delhi police has already made just to make sure that whenever the opposition parties actually decide to step out from the parliament and try to continue with the march towards the Enforcement Directorate office and the CBI office, they would be stopped right here, and this is what we are being told, that they wouldn't be allowed to march anywhere from here. So yes, in the next few hours we are expecting that the march will begin, but yes, the action would remain here at Vijay Chowk, where the Delhi police will make sure that none of the leaders are allowed to move anywhere close to the ED office or anywhere far from the parliament vicinity itself. So yes, in the next few hours we might get to see as to what is the strategy that the opposition is going to undertake, because yes, this strategy of protest is not going to be far-fetched, because yes, the administration has made sure that the protest would not be allowed to take place. In fact, various police officials from various police stations across the national capitals have been deployed over here just to make sure that the law and order situation remains under control.
Anshul,
so yes, we are awaiting.
Anshul, let me just tell our audiences right now, we've talked right now about opposition unity today at the march, and the BRS, the Bharatiya Rashtra Samiti from Telangana, has made it clear that while they are going to be marching, they're not going to be marching underneath the Congress banner. Let's take a look at what the BRS